good evening, friends, followers, and channel members. So, it's Friday night. Let's do a flight. Oh, glad to be here. Seems like forever since I was last here. I actually can't remember when the last one was. I think the last one we did was the late night flight here into Toulouse from Palma de Mallorca. We are on live weather, we are on VATSIM, but as you can see, just for a little bit of daylight, I have tweaked the time somewhat, so we do have daytime hours, which is quite neat. But as I say, everything else is the same. Live weather and live air traffic control, I believe, from Marseille. Air traffic control is online. I actually need to check to see if they cover Toulouse Airport. I'm not entirely sure, so we'll give them a call as well if they're still online by the time we've finished. So good evening, Dark Fury. Good to see you. Hope you've had a happy Friday. And yeah, I'm kind of just looking at this catering truck and wondering if he's already wrecked my wings, so we won't be going very far. That looks like a bit of a tight squeeze to me. Oh well, could have been worse. I suppose he could have driven straight into the engine. But anyway, let's have a look. Looks like I'm on my own here at Toulouse. As I say, we are on VATSIM. There's no one else around, so just me for the time being. Oh well. Good stuff. And oh, here comes the jetway. I can actually hear that as well. I don't think I've heard the motorization noises before of that. I don't know if you can hear that, but yeah. Dark, you've been at work and you need a friend. You've been at work today. It's bank holiday today, is it not? So that's quite neat. So yeah, well done if you've been at work today. Klaus, good evening as well. Great to have you on board for the flight this evening. Speaking of getting on board, let's jump into the flight deck, shall we? So here we are, still basking in our beautiful Easter livery, which we'll have for another week or so. And I've recently just updated this to the latest experimental build, and as you can clearly see, we've got the fly-by-wire cups. Do you know what? Let's throw those out. Don't want them. I should have put my Easyjet cups in, but clearly I forgot. Never mind. So Doug, good to see you're on your way in. Simon, good evening, sir. Welcome. Also, this will obviously no longer have remembered my username, will it? So let's pop that in here. Easyjetsimpilot. There we go. So there we are. That's now put in. Let's pull this through and import from SimBrief. There we go. Information in. So current metas, you can see QNH is 1013. Ceiling visibility okay, winds 2805, 18 degrees, and no significant changes expected. Good stuff. When we get to Basel, 360 at 10, so that's a noticeable wind, but visibility is great. Ceiling visibility okay. QNH at the moment 1019. Other than that, that all looks good. So let's just get those batteries on, then we'll call for some external ground power as well. So batteries are on, and let's call that GPU, shall we? Julesy, good evening, sir. Hope you are well. Right, external power. Let's see if that's coming over. Stick your head out the window. Let's have a look. Oh, there he is. He's just driven straight out of the terminal. Oh, and now he's going to crash into the stairs. And oh my word, has he been drinking? Wow, that's some move. Excellent. HD, you've just messaged me. I thought I just heard my phone bing. What have we got? Oh, has SimBrief done something daft? Right, okay. Typical. So Simbrief has his flight. Do you know what? Let's just pull. I've not even pulled the charts up yet. Let's have a look. So, right, has Simbrief got us on a one-way airway going the wrong way? Let's have a look. So it has. Uniform 869. 871 looks like the better bet, doesn't it? And to be fair, where's that departure? Just put that back on from runway 32 left. Well, that would make sense then, wouldn't it? So that takes us out on the strangely enough, HD, I'd already clocked that we were going to do this departure routing anyway, the DP5 Bravo, which then puts us on a uniform November 187. Now where does that take us to? This is all a wrong way airway. Oh, what is going on here? Air traffic control's not going to like that, is it? It's got us going the wrong way all the way through. That's really annoying. Do you know what we could do? I wonder if we could sort of plan this manually instead of linking up from Simbrief. So we can take the uniform November 871. I'm just scribbling some stuff down here. Uniform November 871 airway. And then we could still continue on the 871 airway, 871 airway, 871 airway, all the way to which VOR is that? Lima Tango Papa. Lima Tango Papa. From Lima Tango Papa, then we're doing some rerouting here. Still on the 871 airway. So is it Uniform November 871? Yes, it is. Uniform November 871. Oh, strange that Simbriefs have done this. Simbrief is usually pretty good at stuff like this. We could then go, it could take us to the 871 to Molus. And then from Molus we could then look to go direct to, Do you know what, we could then probably just look to go direct to the Lima Papa Sierra VOR, couldn't we? Or where does the, because is that where the 871 finished? Let's just sit back. Yeah, or from there actually we can oh no, we can continue. Could continue up to, there is Molus. Oh, Molus actually continues. 871 to Sossal. Okay. I'm having to be a flight planner here. I don't like being a flight planner. I prefer being a pilot. 871 takes us then to almost the wrong way then. Do you know what? We could end up just going direct. We could just go direct, couldn't we? Which waypoint is this? That's the Deccan waypoint. I think HD, we could just do that. We could basically take the Uniform November 871 airway all the way to Molus and then probably just go direct Deccan. It's not what's been filed with the flight planners, but what has been filed with the flight planners on VATSIM is complete rubbish because it's the airway's the wrong way. I don't know if air traffic control's online anyway up here, and I was going to point this out anyway. Once we get here we actually will veer off around about this location here to come and intercept the ILS over here for runway 33. We shan't be going
rise ground, India uniform Mike 74.
Oh, fair enough.
Pushback and start up.
We shan't be going all the way up here anyway. We'll be doing as the real Easyjet flight did earlier today, which is basically coming off here to intercept the ILS up there. But in terms of doing that then, let's have a look. And HD just say 32 right for departure. Oh, fair enough. Well, that's just the Depes 5 Bravo then, isn't it? So that's fine. Okay, we'll do that. I'm going to have to plan that in manually, but that's fine. So let's jump back on board. Did we actually activate the ground power? Oh no, we didn't. Look, the batteries are draining quick. There we go. So let's get the McDo sorted. And the problem I'm going to actually have here is, as soon as I get everything brought in, it's actually going to pump in that flight plan, which is a pile of rubbish. So external power is on. We need to do some refueling. What's the operational flight plan tell us? With regards to fuel, that should be semi-accurate, if not exactly accurate, given that we're going to change everything. So yeah, how daft is this? Never mind. Do you know what we can do? Just bear with me 30 seconds, guys. In fact, you know what? I'll put it on screen, then you can see what we're doing. If I just go back to SimBrief, I can quickly refile this. So if we just log on, edit the flight, and if we have a look at the... See, these are all direct as well. These aren't taking any particular airways. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's taking the 871. That's the one we want. Much better. Okay, let's generate that. And then I'll refile this manually with air traffic control. There we go. So we're just going to copy that. I'm going to quickly plan that back into vPilot. Haven't done this for a long time, so quick flight plan. If we do that, and now file that flight plan. Flight plan is filed. And we've got the new flight plan filed. Excellent. So that's now the Men 5 Bravo departure. Right, so if I now close that, shift that back out of the way, and if we go back to the dashboard, pulling from SimBrief, will this change? Ah, there we go. Beautiful. There we go, HD. Sorted. Right, so sack the flight planner. He's gone. And let's have a look at our operational flight plan now. So operational flight plan, how much fuel do we need? Right, so it's telling us a 6435. So performance, dispatch, fuel, and we're going to be offloading some fuel. 6435. Put that on real time for us. Estimated time to defuel is 4 minutes. There we go. Operational flight plan 2. What's the most you've ever gone up to, HD, after changes? Actually, I don't think I'd changed the departure runway there, but that doesn't matter. I think it's still the same. Still the same SID. So what was our new departure routing now? It's the Mini 5 Bravo. Let's have a look at that. Charts for... Oh, that's Basel. We don't want that. In fact, hang on one second. New flight from SimBrief. There we go. And there's our new routing. So the Basel, I just grab these while I have them. The Lumek 8 Kilo arrival, that's for runway 33, ILS Zulu, so we'll pin that. I'll also pin the airport and parking stand information before we get there, and then of course back to Toulouse. So pin the airport, pin the parking stand, and the standard instrument departure is now the Mini 5 Bravo, which will just come down in 5, Men 5 Bravo, there it is. Okay, so Men 5 Bravo, and depart. Once we're at Toulouse, it's a right-hand turn. Men 5 Bravo, and then there we are on the correct airway out of there. Initial climb clearance, flight level 70. Transition altitude is 5,000 feet. Okay. Wonderful. Well, now that's all sorted. Just see, has the fuel consumption been addressed in the newest version, meaning it's more realistic? I believe so. I'll tell you what, we're going to find out. We're going to look at that fuel consumption very carefully as we depart this evening. Right, refueling's underway. How about some passengers and boarding? Let's get them underway as well, shall we? So let's tell the cabin crew that they can begin.
Cabin crew, we're all happy with how things are up here, so
Finally.
now open the doors and start letting our passengers on board. Thank you. No problem.
Don't know if you guys will have noticed as well, but in the latest experimental, sorry, it's not, is it experimental or custom? I can't remember. It's the custom autopilot. Maybe, I think it's the experimental build they call it now. The clicks have gone after starting everything up. Right, so everything is happy there. Let's come down here. Get the centre sorted, QNH 1013, and time, wheel, nose wheels, etc., and skid. And we'll come down here. Let's get the guard frequency set 121.5. That's on VHF 2. Back to VHF 1. Right, so I think Marseille center controls here 12465. I'll dial that in now, and you know what, I might actually contact them, check they've got the new flight plan before we go ahead and bung everything into the FMGC. 12465. I need to check they actually control Marseille, to be fair. So let's just give them a quick call, let them know we're at Toulouse, and ask if they're covering us tonight. Marseille, good evening, Alpine 534 uniform. We're on the ground at Toulouse, just wondering if you cover us this evening. At the moment I'm not getting any response, so maybe not. Oh, nothing at all there. Just check my VPAT is selected right, 12465. Right, okay. There's another Marseille control online as well. This is where sometimes it gets a little bit difficult. Let's try 12832. 12832. Dark, you don't think they control Toulouse? Well, they didn't even answer me, so they probably can't even hear me. 1283225, let's check, see if they're controlling, because there's two Marseille controls, and when you click on it for information, they actually don't differ at all. So let's give them another call. Marseille, good evening. Alpine 534 uniform. We're on the ground in Toulouse. Just wondering if you're controlling us this airport this evening. Radio silence. No one wants to talk to me tonight. Doesn't sound like we're in their range, which would mean that they're not controlling us tonight. Right, okay, well, fair enough. We're on our own. So in that case, actually, just before I go any further, let's set 122.8. There we go. Okay. Alright, onto the centre pedestals. How's our passengers doing? Have they started boarding yet? Oh yes, they're on their way. Get that turned up. Navigation and ECAMs turned up as well. We'll turn the first officer's displays off. We already know our stop climb altitude is 7,000 or flight level 70, so we can pop that on the flight directors. And IRS alignment has completed. Tell you what, let's be ultra realistic, shall we? Should we actually get the ground crew doing some work? Baggage and catering. We can't forget the catering. Even though the catering truck has just driven through my aircraft. Right, so over to the McDo Atsu. Can I turn that up anymore? Seems a little bit dark. AOC menu, init press. Let's pull our information in. There we go, 1 hour 16 minutes. And back to our AOC menu, performance, weights and balance. We don't touch the fuel, that's now been loaded automatically. However, here's the payload. So let's check that out, shall we? Dispatch, operational flight plan. Just confirm we have the new one. Yes, we do. So that's neat. So the payload is 18616. 18616. Zero fuel weight is 59.6. 59.6. That's all correct, and we'll just change the zero fuel weight centre of gravity to what the simulator tells it is, which is 26.9. We can change that if we wish, but the simulator tells us rather than the load sheet here. There we go. Let's add that payload in. Okay, so payload sorted. Check while we're here. We've got 3 nav green, aircraft status, correct engines, and correct AirAx cycle. And to the flight plan then. So, oh, hang on, we've not done init A. That's why. Missed a step. And init request. Let's pull that in. And the alternate is Charles de Gaulle, Lima Fox, Papa Golf. Very nice. Lima Fox, Papa Golf. And our call sign this evening is Easyjet Europe. So Alpine again. What's the chances of me getting this right? I need to turn the phone off. HD, is that you? 534 uniform and cost index of 8, flight level 360 minus 51, 360 is correct, minus 57 is that temperature, and the tropo is 37341, 37341. There it is. Oh, is that what the ding was, HD? Is that the performance figures being sent? How realistic. We'll come to those in a moment. Chris, good afternoon. Yeah, well, it's this is a real life flight, so we're using the real life call sign for that. So that's it's quite nice to be doing another real life flight rather than one we've just made up. Okay, init A is complete. Let's now come to our flight plan. So we're departing runway 32 right now. I love this thing. What's the point of this little runway here? Runway 32 right. And it is the... which is it? The Men 5 Bravo departure, isn't it? Hey, HD, you were right about the noises in France. What sound's that then, do you reckon? Men 5 Bravo. Let's pop that in. Insert. Alex says, you wonder if HD gets his real life OFPs via Facebook Messenger. Well, it wasn't the OFP, it was the performance figures for the takeoff. Leonard, good evening, sir. Okay, so we've got that user point there. That's fine. Basically, the user point is we begin our right hand turn. As you can see, it says, if possible, turn in order not to cross the is that Gaelic 238 radial. So we're going to key these into the RadNav page in a little while anyway. And then on our arrival into Basel, it is the ILS runway 33 Zulu. That's a nice long runway. And this is using the, which star was it? Let's have a look. It's the Lumek 8 Kilo star. Which comes from here, is that right? Yeah, the Lumek 8 Kilo. You see, so realistically what happened on the flight this afternoon is, I believe the Easyjet got to Lumel, and then instead of following the actual star all the way around, they basically got vectored in from Lumel, watching the MSA, of course, but they got vectored in just to carry on an eastbound heading, and then intercepted the ILS this way, which is something that we can probably do as well. But we'll put the star in for now. So Lumel 8 Kilo, as you can see. Let's just get that out of the way. And scroll down. There it is. Lumel 8 Kilo, and insert. Very good. So flight plan check, 380 miles. Flight plan 443. There's a bit of distance change there, isn't there? I wonder what that's what's accounting for that. These should be the same. Let's have a look how that looks then on the navigation display as we scroll through that. So there's our departure, there's that right hand turn, and then as we get up to Basel, that's taking us straight in. It's not doing the full 8 kilo arrival from, is it, in fact, is Lumel even there? Did anyone see the Lumel waypoint as we were scrolling through that? It wasn't. Well, that's maybe perhaps why the distances don't quite add up. However, that approach actually looks good to me. We just need to be aware of the minimum safe altitude. HD, which waypoint is after Cornell? Let's just check. Right, so it's the Basel 20 Alpha, which doesn't actually exist, does it? Yeah, so you can see that's the actual routing that we've got planned, and it's taken us straight from Cornell over here and then there. No, you're right, HD, that approach doesn't exist. Not sure why it's not been programmed in, but it does look actually very close to the approach that the real Easyjet flight this afternoon did take. So again, I'm happy to fly it, but I do want to keep an eye on the minimum safe altitude, which I believe is something like 6,300 feet on that. 6,400 feet after Lumel, yeah. Now that might even be the platform altitude as well, if I remember rightly. Oh, wrong page. 7,000 feet is the platform. Well, that makes sense. In that case, we're clear. So what I'd like to do, HD, if I could, would be to add the Bel Air and Lumel waypoints in. It will not let me because the the star is hard coded in, so I can't even play around with that to pop those in. So we're going to pray for VMC conditions and hope for the best, but it should be okay, I think. Okay, all passengers are now on board. Let's carry on setting this up. So although the flight plan doesn't match exactly in the FMGC what the flight plan is that we have, it is going to get us there, and it's going to get us there safely. And if anything, it's actually a slightly shorter route, which is good for fuel economy. So, RadNav page, then I spoke briefly about this. So, on our departure, we want the Toulouse and the Gaillac VORs in there. So, let's pop that in. So, the first one is Toulouse, which is Tango Oscar Uniform, and the other one is Golf Alpha India. Golf Alpha India. Check that frequency, 158. Correct. Okay, that all looks good. Radar page sorted. So onto the init B for our fuel. So the zero fuel weight was 59.6. 59.6. Let's get that in. Oh, I didn't put the zero fuel weight in. 59.6, and what's that zero fuel weight of this aircraft? Is it 26.9? 26.9, there we go. And the trip wind is a slight headwind of 9. Headwind of 9, pop that in. Okay, fuel planning. So let's see if I've used a different fuel percentage. I think I've used a performance factor of -10 as opposed to -20. So let's try that. HD might be worth putting in the Tango Lima Bravo and NDB in as well. Okay, fair enough. We'll go back and do that in a moment. So let's see what we're looking for now. We're looking for about 6.4 tons. The aircraft tells us we only need 3.4 tons. Oh, okay. Well, in that case, happy with that. Looks like refueling is completed as well. So let's key in 6.4. It can work that out. So whilst that's just computing, I'm going to come to the overhead panel. Refueling is now complete. Let's get those signs turned on. Let's get the fuel pumps turned on, and we can also start that APU. Give that 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. There we go. APU is now starting. So now we have our takeoff weight. Let's just also go back to that RadNav and put in the Tango Lima November NDB. So Tango Lima November, Tango Lima Bravo in there. That's nice that these fill in because I don't think they used to actually, so that's quite neat. And fuel prediction is estimated 4 tons when we arrive. We shall see. We shall see. Right, so onto the performance page now to open up the information that we've got from HD for these. The alternate is Charles de Gaulle. Oh, sorry, you mean on the fuel, on the init B page? Yeah, that's why. Oh, why is that showing 0.0? Good point. We have definitely filled it in. I am going to double check that though now. Yeah, Charles de Gaulle. So let's have a look at what the alternate fuel should have been. Alternate fuel should be the alternate fuel should be 2.3. So let's pop that in. 2.3 tons. There we go. Alright, so our performance calculations then from HD. I haven't opened these yet, HD, so choice of 2 departure points. Let's have a look. We have got, let's bring the map over as well. So November 4 is obviously the closest. Is that one of them? I need to learn to read FlySmart. 3-2 right and 3-2 right. November 2. Oh, November 2 instead of November 1. Oh, in that case, yeah, we'll take November 2. November 2 is looking good. So config 1 and flex temp is going to be 60. And transition altitude here is 5,000 feet. And that thrust reduction acceleration for nose abatement 2 is actually pretty good. I'd got it down as 1499, so obviously that's close enough for the sim. So that's good. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to use the shorter runway for takeoff. That's fine, like that. Saves fuel and also obviously gets us there much quicker. So let's have a look. Let's use your V-speeds, HD. So the V-speeds we have got is 134, 134, 137. 134, 134, 137. There we go. Wonderful. So all that is now in. I think the doors and the jetway are starting to disappear now as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board our Easyjet service. Please place your large bags into the overhead locker, wheels first, and keep your small items under the seat in front of you. These include laptops, handbags, duty-free and loose items of clothing. Once you have safely stowed your cabin bag, please take your seat. To help us ensure a prompt departure, we would kindly ask that you keep the aisle clear, enabling all remaining customers to board. Your seatbelt can now be fastened ready for departure. This is a no-smoking service. Thank you for observing this policy.
Thank you.
HD, I think we can change that now as well. So, what's your engine out? 1495, is that? 1495. It just rounds that up to 1,500. That's fine. Okay, so just seen that we do have some friends with us on the ground. Let's have a look. Oh, there's a little bit of morphing going on at the stand over to the left of us. So our taxi routing then takes us with a pushback, and we're going to be departing from this intersection just there. So let's just head back in the flight deck and just check through our departure briefings. So we're going to push back facing south, we're then taxiing obviously from stand Echo 40, and then we'll take taxiway 41, then taxiway 40, Papa 20, and then on to November 2 rather than coming all the way down to November 1. Once we're airborne, we get to Toulouse and we want to make a right hand turn, try not to cross the 238 radial, and we can actually hard code that in if we wish. So we'll stick VOR2 on, that's for Toulouse. And actually if I just come pop that in, what was that radial again? 238, 238, 238. There we go. Strangely enough, we're not picking that up. I would have thought we'd have picked that up. We're not that far away from it, but never mind. Okay, so the departure actually is pretty straightforward. Stop altitude is 7,000 feet. Actually, no, it's not. It's flight level 70. We need to remember to go standard pressure soon after departure. Other than that, I think we're in good shape. and we've actually got a correct airways to depart on now, so that's it. Vincent says, I love how your plane is orange all the way. Yeah, oh, for those of you that haven't seen it, this is our special this is our special Easter livery, which is painted by channel member Christian, so that's really nice to see. So other things to be aware of: the weather here is absolutely fine, looking nice. Just show you. So if we do have a problem, I've got no issues returning here. It's nice visual conditions. Our takeoff weight is going to be below the maximum landing weight, so just looking at that, we're about a ton to spare, so no issues with returning here. Aircraft is the A320neo, of course, and it's the experimental version, so there may be a couple of surprises. So we'll wait and see. HD, you can't put fixes in yet. However, I have seen this, and I tested this yesterday. The progress page. Not only will we be able to put in, I am going to test this. I don't think it's been merged yet. No, not yet. I was testing a version of this yesterday, and not only will you be able to put in waypoints, nav aids, airports, and as we've shown before, you will actually be able to put runway thresholds in, and you can also put in navigation points and then select degrees and distance from it, so you can put your bearings in as well. It does work. I tested it yesterday. They just haven't merged it yet, so that's going to be fantastic when that's in there, isn't it? So we'll be able to do that. I don't think it will create the displays or anything like that here on the navigation display just yet, but everything else with regards to getting your bearing and distance is now working. They just need to merge it. So it's coming. Watch this space. Okay, so our departure clearance, there's no air traffic control here. I'm just going to quickly look behind me as I know that there is other traffic. I am tuned to Unicom, so I'm just going to make the call. So Toulouse traffic, Alpine 534 uniform is parking stand Echo 40. Just holding, we're ready for pushback, but we'll wait for departing traffic, so there's separation. So hopefully these guys will start to move. I don't want to reverse into them. But we'll get the tug driver all connected up and get the rotating beacon light, so they know that we're not far away from pushing.
Cabin crew, we're all ready to go, so please answer doors and cross-check. Thank you.
There's the tail of that aircraft, just started to move, so we know he's going.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck this morning, let me welcome you on board this Easyjet aircraft as you settle in for what we hope is going to be a most enjoyable flight. The weather today doesn't look to be posing much of a problem, so we should have a nice smooth ride for you throughout the duration of the flight. And as the cabin crew continue making their last preparations, if you could please assist them by getting yourselves sat down, your seatbelts fastened, and make yourselves nice and comfortable. The ground crew have now finished loading the aircraft, and we're just about finished with all our pre-flight checks, so it won't be long until we are pushing back. If you could please give the cabin crew your full attention as they go through the safety briefing, we'd very much appreciate it. So on behalf of myself and the First Officer, we'd like to say thank you for choosing Easyjet today, and we look forward to giving you a safe flight.
Okay, so we'll just wait for this traffic that's obviously just pushing back behind us. We'll let them get going, let them get out of the way. So I hope everyone's had a nice Friday. Obviously here in the UK it has been a holiday, so I hope people here in the UK have not been working too hard today. Is tomorrow a holiday? I know tomorrow's a Saturday, but is it actually a holiday? Monday is, isn't it? That's another bank holiday. All the days roll into one at the minute. I'm interested to know what you've all been doing today. If you've not been working, of course. I spent the day decorating a bedroom, which is why I'm glad I'm here now. I feel a lot more confident doing this than I do decorating. So Easy215 is taxiing, holding short. He's following Airbus 1001, so we'll just wait for that. Ronald, glad you like the aircraft, my friend. Uh, 7 FPS airport. Are we having issues with that? I don't think so, unless the stream's struggling. Let me just have a quick check. No, frames are looking great. Sometimes the VATSIM aircraft seems to jump. I don't know if you can spy that, and I think that might just be the way that it's pulled in off the server. HD, have you spent the day eating chocolate? Don't you need to reserve that until Sunday, when the Easter Bunny's been? J-Hog, you're still recovering from playing golf with my dad. Oh, did you go golfing? Oh, that's back open now, isn't it? Janice, though, you're an atheist, so you don't wait till Sunday before stuffing your face with chocolate. I'm telling you, chocolate is just hidden everywhere in our house at the moment, thanks to the kids. Okay, we're going to push back. So, Toulouse traffic, Alpine 534, pushing back from parking stand Echo 40, nose facing south. Okay, I didn't do them aloud, but we've done everything with regards to our checklists. And just there, the only thing that I actually didn't do was check the fuel was balanced, but it is. So that's fine. Let's go and push. So, tug is connected, releasing the parking brakes, and reverses. And now we'll start engine 1. Lock back flight deck door. Engine 1 starting. HD, yeah, just said, whilst I was spinning around, I was mentally doing those checks. Apologies, I didn't do those out loud. Okay, good evening. And Leonard, good evening to you as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask for your attention while we take you through the safety procedures on this aircraft. A safety card is in your seat pocket showing the exit routes, oxygen masks, life jackets and brace position that you must adopt if you hear brace, brace. There are 2 emergency exits at the rear, 4 in the middle, and 2 at the front of the cabin. Floor lighting will guide you to an exit. Please be aware that your nearest exit may be behind you. In an emergency, leave all cabin baggage on board. Your seatbelt is fastened, adjusted, and released as shown. It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs are on, and we recommend that you keep it fastened at all times. If the air supply fails, masks will drop from above you. Pull a mask towards you to start the oxygen. Put the mask over your nose and mouth. Hold in place with the strap. Pull on each side to adjust. Put on your own mask before helping others. If we land on water, take the life jacket from under your seat. Put it over your head. Pass the tapes around your waist. Click together and pull the strap to adjust. Do not inflate it inside the aircraft. When outside, inflate by pulling the toggle. If it fails to inflate or needs topping up, blow into the tube. There is a light and whistle for attracting attention. We also carry flotation aids for children. Your tray table must now be stowed, armrest down, window blinds open, and seatbelt fastened. We wish you a pleasant flight with Easyjet.
Strangely enough, those frame rates, you've just jinxed it. Our frame rates do seem to be struggling for the moment. Bliblim, you're on the beach in Jamaica. Oh, very nice. Danny, nearly 1 hour live. We haven't moved a metre yet. Beginning to look like 320 Simpilot. Well, in that case, I'll take that as a compliment. It means we're doing things correctly. Christian, you call it fast and dirty, skipping the checklist. Well, we didn't skip it. Well, I skipped the checklist for you guys, but I did. I have got it obviously in front of me, and yeah, whilst chatting and just waiting for a few other things, I didn't verbally do it, but I had done it. Anyway, our pushback's now complete. Let's get those parking brakes on. Hopefully these frame rates will come back up. It's the first time I've had an issue with frame rates since the little update, or update that should have been little. Mine wasn't, for those of you that remember that night. Okay, so with that done, engine 2 is obviously now stabilised, so engine mode selector, APU, anti-ice not needed for the start of our departure. APU masters can come off, and ground spoilers armed, flaps 1, check the trim, 27.
Easyjet 215 landing up runway 32 right.
Looks pretty bob on, we can leave that. Okay, so after start checklist, anti-ice not required. Ecom status is checked, system's fine, and pitch trim is 27, check that rudder is set 0. HD, it didn't help that the flight plan needed updating. There's a newbie in the ops. Yeah, exactly. Okay, right, so let's do the flight control check. Full left, full right, and neutral. Full up, full down, neutral, rudder. Full right, and full left, neutral. Greedy man, good evening. Spoilers, rudder, flaps. I know that makes perfect sense, because obviously you've got everything. You're then moving that right-hand flow, aren't you? Spoilers, rudder, flaps. And I think the problem is, if you're in an actual flight deck, that becomes very, very easy, doesn't it? It's just down there to the right of you. What I need is a full-built aircraft flight deck. So if you know anyone that's rich and fancies buying one for me and HD, then please do put them in touch. Okay, so the pushback tug is now disappearing. He's cleared to disconnect. Is he still there? Oh no, yeah, he is. He's going to move back now. Nabila is studying aviation. Good luck to you for the future. Okay, the tug's now clear. Let's get the taxi lights on. In fact, let's just announce our taxi. So, Toulouse traffic, Alpine 534 uniform, taxiing via Tango 41, Tango 40, Papa 20 to November 2, holding short for runway 32 right. Okay, taxi light coming on. Christian, good evening, sir. Hope you are well.
215 is taking off runway 32 right.
Okay, slight performance change there. 1014. Just wanted to check that. So QNH has actually increased by 1. HT, is that going to alter the performance? If it was a couple, I know we'd added a degree of flex, but we've only got 1 change, so I'm presuming that actually won't change that. Okay, so all is good. Dark, can't you hear me on Unicom? What we changed to? 122.8? Let's just check VPilot's showing that as well. 122.8. Yeah, that's there. HD says QH has just gone up, no need for performance change. Did you say that as I was just saying it? I know that that's the problem. The stream is probably about 20 seconds behind what I'm seeing in the text. Okay, we're ready to taxi anyway, so let's get those lights off. Ah, HD, that's neat. You only change it when you go down. That's what I will learn from today's flight, if nothing else. And we're starting to roll. Actually, just before we do roll, I know what I haven't done, and this is a sim thing. This is not a real world thing. I've updated the aircraft, so I just want to check these detents. Oh, and we're going to get alarms going off as I do this. Oh, and really annoyingly, am I actually going to be able to clear these? Do you know what? Let me leave it. I think fly-by-wire are trying to make it so it works regardless. If not, let me just see. If I just release that and then very quickly. Yep, they are working. That's fine. Thank goodness for that. Christian, do we need to apply them again? Well, in that case, I may apply those just manually. Alex, TO config didn't work to clear the error. We actually had to clear it using the clear button. The issue is it should have been done before I started the engines. It wouldn't have made a difference then. Let's move that over here so we know where it is we're taxiing. So we're taxiing now, and we turn right on to Tango 40. All these frame rates improve as the stream goes on. The only other way I think to cancel that particular alarm would have been to release the parking brakes. That's the reason that one started beeping away at me. Captain B, that's interesting. So Christian says they're still working and the values are still correct, but you just have to click the apply button one time. Oh, okay, that we can do. We'll do that in a sec then. A little bit annoyed at these frame rates. This is a hand-built airport, but we've been here before and not had any issues. So I'm not sure what's happening just there. Very strange. Alright, so there's an aircraft coming in on runway 32 right. So I imagine we'll have to wait for that. Carl says that the fly-by-wire need to fix the performance of the A320. Well, you know, Carl, this is the first time I've had any sort of real issues. So, a little bit strange. We'll see what it's like as we carry on. So here's the November 2 taxiway, an aircraft on final. So let's just remember that. Natalie, if I was going to divert anywhere, Chernobyl would not be my first choice. Not on this flight, anyway. Okay, so here's our entry to runway 32 right. We've got an aircraft on final, and that just gives us time to basically hold here. We can pop those parking brakes on so we don't go anywhere. Let's look out the window, shall we? Toulouse traffic, Alpine 534 uniform is holding short of runway 32 right for arriving traffic.
We are on a 10 no final, so you are able to do immediately takeoff if you want.
Roger, thank you for that. Alpine 534 uniform will commence takeoff. In fact, actually no, cancel that. We will remain here for your arrival. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go. We're reducing the speed now, so if you want, you can take off.
I'd still rather sit here and wait. Anyway, gives us a chance to do our briefings. Toulouse traffic, Alpine 534 uniform. Just confirming we will hold for the arriving traffic, and we'll line up behind your arrival. Thank you. Okay, so flight controls check, and our takeoff briefing once again. Let's just revisit that. Nice straight takeoff, right turn after passing the Toulouse VOR, and then off we go on the correct airway. Transition altitude 7,000 feet, initial stop climb altitude is flight level 70. Check that's all in there, and it is. We just need to remember to set standard pressure as we climb out. That's all sorted. FMA and takeoff data then. 134 blue, 137 magenta, climb nav blue, flight level 70, and 1 FD2. Flex takeoff is 60 degrees. And we'll just wait for this arriving traffic. So, whilst we're waiting for that, let's just apply these. So, apply that, apply that, apply. Oh, I see, all the values are exactly the same, aren't you? You're quite right, Christian. We're just hitting apply and save. And HC says the engine out, departure is hold at the Tango Lima Bravo NDB, which we've got keyed in. Here comes that arriving traffic, I think. Can we see him? He's on 4 mile finals, so that's fine. So again, whilst we're sat waiting here, we can do a couple more things. We can check those wheel temperatures. We can turn the transponder on and set TCAS TARA tilt above.
Hi there, just to let you know, we will be holding our current position for a few minutes. There are a few aircraft waiting to depart ahead of us, but we should be on our way very shortly. Thank you.
Passenger view of the arrival traffic in a moment. 147 of you watching the stream this evening. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. If you could do me a favour then, just while we're waiting, hit that like button for me. It really does help promote the channel on YouTube. So if you would be so kind as to press the like button, I would really appreciate that. Captain B, you see that I'm also flying in France. Yes, indeed. I hope I have better luck than you did. I'm sure you are fine, Captain.
Toulouse traffic, correction, KLM 999 Yankees on the ILS 32 right.
Did I just say another aircraft was inbound? Toulouse traffic Alpine 534 uniform. How far are you away from runway 32 right?
For the KLM 999 Yankees?
Correct.
7 mile final.
7 mile final. Do you know what? I may end up getting stuck here because he's not vacated yet. Roger, thank you Alpine 534 uniform. We're going to vacate now, runway 32 right. Okay, let's get the lights on. And parking brake released. Let's go. So before takeoff checklist, below the line, cabin is secured for takeoff, engine mode select to normal, TCAS is on. Let's get those packs off as well. Pack 1, Pack 2, and we'll get out of the way.
Cruise traffic KLM 131 runway indicated.
We'll just make a call as well once we have departed that we're airborne. Okay, so rolling takeoff is permitted, and let's go. So set 50% N1. Takeoff, start the chrono. And set takeoff thrust. We're not getting the FMA call outs, are we? Ugh. We've gone Toga, Man Toga, SRS, and runway V1, rotate. Toulouse traffic, Alpine 534 uniform, runway vacated. Okay, so it's actually giving us manual thrust there, and I'm going to have to, there we go, thrust climb, climb, and those flight directors are looking much better now with this custom autopilot, so we can follow those quite happily. And we're just passing S speed, so we'll clean up. Flap 0, ground spoilers now disarmed. Still got a positive speed trend. Packs 1 and 2 back on. And we're okay. Set standard pressure. Initial stop climb is flight level 70.
Okay,
Captain S, no, I'm not using the TCA Airbus joystick. Okay, speed, alt, capture. So going into speed mode to reduce that thrust to maintain 250 knots below 10,000 feet. No air traffic control online here, so we can look to continue that climb now. So let's set flight level 250. So thrust climb 250 blue. Keep that nose up to control that speed. HD, thankfully I did do the standard before your call there. Virtual pat on the back for myself.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your seatbelt fastened while the seatbelt sign is on. We recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you are seated. Toilets are located at each end of the cabin. Remember that smoking is not permitted at any time. This includes e-cigarettes.
Okay, so I'm now happy with past 10,000 feet, autopilot 1 coming on. Autopilot 1 is now engaged without any massive jolt as well, that's nice. And the lights can come off above 10,000 feet. And cruise altitude today is flight level 360, the optimum is 390, so we're well happy with that. Let's set that now. So flight level 360, flight level 360 blue. Nick Burrows, good evening sir. Glad to see you. So just quickly going back on the issue we had with the departure with the thrust levers, it seemed that because I've updated this just before the flight this evening and I forgot to calibrate these before starting the engines, which you must do, otherwise you're going to have a whole host of alarms going off as you go through it, as I did. So we just went toga thrust in the end, otherwise the flex takeoff would have worked absolutely fine. And yeah, let's just release that cabin crew. Don't need the rad nav in there. Oh, actually we can't clear that. it's trying to put in the waypoint clear. Oh, actually no, it did do that. Oh, what did I do first time? It didn't try that. It didn't work. Oh, there we go. Wonderful. HD, yeah, I can see that really clearly now. I was obviously monitoring that as well during the departure. And the flight directors, much better now, aren't they? As we spoke about, a picture paints 1,000 words. Christian asks, just see if standard pressure flashes at 18,000 feet. Okay, we'll check that. HD, what is the what's the normal M1s for climb thrust? Is it we've obviously got 88 at the moment. Is there a range that it comes through? So we're just checking. Yeah, we just passed flight level 180 and standard pressure is not yet flashing, so that's all good. Aircraft and weather ahead of us is looking fine, so let's get the seatbelt signs off.
Ladies and gentlemen, the seatbelt sign has now been turned on. You are now free to move around the cabin and the toilets are now available. However, when in your seat, we recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times in case of unexpected turbulence. Please contact a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance. Thank you.
Jason Young says, thank you for the videos, love the content, keep it up. Oh, really glad you're enjoying them, my friend. Thank you for watching. Glad to see you on a live stream as well. Ground radar can come off, obviously. I don't think we're going to need that at 20,000 feet. And Christian says the only problem with the custom air pilot is it doesn't work with the honeycomb hardware. I'm afraid I can't help with that as I don't have it. No, you fell asleep and your aircraft flew around all night on 0 fuel. Woke up this morning to see it circling an air... Was it circling a waypoint? The last one in the flight plan? So, I'm just looking at the fuel burn. During this climb, we're burning now about 2 tons per engine. It's getting closer, HD, isn't it? You'd say between 2 and 3 is a bit more realistic. It's definitely been less than that in the past. Noah B, shouldn't autopilot go into heading mode automatically if you miss your descent? If you miss your descent, do you mean if you just miss the last waypoint in the flight plan? No, I believe it just continues to... I don't really know, actually. I can't honestly say I've never done it. I think it just circles the last waypoint. Nice clear skies again. HD, let's hope that that isn't too far away until you are. There's so many things we're going to need you to check.
In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase a selection of hot beverages together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated, and if we can be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
Noah B, was that an Airbus though? I do actually seem to recall that story somewhere in the back of my mind, but I can't recall which aircraft it was. So we may yet still get some air traffic control. There are still some air traffic controllers online quite late for this Friday, which is quite nice. We'll wait and see if anyone comes up. Nick, anything new today? Fuel burn's looking good. Oh, there we go. 12465. Marseille, good evening. Alpine 534. Uniform with you, flight level passing 290, direct the Mike Echo November.
314 Marseille, squawk 1000, and say again your direct point.
Direct Mike Echo November VOR.
Roger, I don't have that in your flight plan. Can you confirm your routing for me?
Yeah, just stand by please. Alpine 534 uniform. Let's get that squawk in. Right, did it actually update the flight plan? Let's have a look. No, it didn't. Ah, right, okay. Alpine 534 uniform. Roger. See the problem that we've got. We had to update our flight plan when we were on the ground. If you could just stand by and we'll just refile that for you very quickly.
Okay, no problem.
Bravo Glide 631, request taxi.
With Lima Fox 6381, holding point Alpha 9er, runway 35 left, taxi via...
So, I'm just having to redo that very quickly.
Tango.
We're Tango to Alpha 9er, holding point, runway 35 left, Bravo Glide 631.
Alpha 777, request in taxi.
Right, 777, runway, correction, holding point Alpha 9er, runway 35 left, taxi via Tango.
Right Tango to holding point Alpha 9 for runway 35 left. Alpha 777.
Alpine 534 uniform. We just attempted to refile that through the vPilot client. Have you got a new flight plan from us?
Negative, I didn't see any change in the flight plan. If you like, you can send me through chat and I can take a look.
Roger, yeah, we can do that. We'll currently direct Mike Echo November and then via the uniform November 871 airway. And Alpine 534 uniform has just sent you a message with the new routing for you. So we've just sent him that via a private message, so hopefully he's got that.
Okay, Alpine 534 uniform, that's all good now. Climb level 340.
Roger, thank you. Climb flight level 340, Alpine 534 uniform. As long as he's got the new one, that's fine. Nick says this is like China all over again. It's not quite that bad. At least we were aware of it before we took off this time. But it's good to have air traffic control. It adds to the realism. China was a laugh. I still blame you for that, Nick. That was your routing of choice.
Take control, very good evening, Lufthansa 25 Mike, leveled off by flight level 360, inbound Marquis.
Lufthansa 25 Mike, Marseille, squawk 1000.
Squawk 1000, Lufthansa 25 Mike.
To be fair, I think Christian, if the aircraft had seen us on the flight plan that we were taking, they'd have wondered why we were going the wrong way down a one-way airway.
Lufthansa 25 Mike, identified, maintain level 360.
Roger, maintain flight level 360, Lufthansa 25 Mike.
To be fair, Nick, that's what I'm blaming as well. Simbrief gave us a bit of tough routing this evening.
Ultra 144, Marseille, squawk 1000.
Christian is flight level 340 and unusual height to fly. It is an even flight, isn't it? Even flight level. Don't know. We're just doing as we're told, mate.
Flight 6381 ready for departure.
Lima Fox 6381, wind 350 at 18, runway 35 left, clear for takeoff.
Runway 35 left, clear for takeoff, Approx 63.
And we're at Mac Alt Star.
144 identified, proceed direct to Nana.
Alex, yeah, you're right. I forgot to update the registry plate and the cups as well. I'm stuck with fly-by-wire cups, which is why I've thrown them out.
Marseille control, clearance 3566 with you, follow 380.
Club 3566, Marseille, squawk 5610.
Squawk 5610, 356.
Reference 777, runway 35 left, line up and wait.
Oh, is this one of those Airways HD where it's not the norm? Fair enough. Just also watching HD, we've not gone into Alt Cruise yet. We're still at Alt, which is a nice firm ride. What happens if the A320 goes above flight level 400?
Club 3566 identified, maintain level.
It probably can do, but only with test pilots.
Maintain 30, clearance 356.
No, B, the overspeed limit gets lower the higher you cruise, because bearing in mind we're actually cruising much faster now. We're using max speed, which is why you've not got indicated airspeed anymore. HD, don't know if you hear on the last stream, all the SD pages are now fixed, so you can actually cycle through the ECAM pages quite comfortably without having to individually select them. HD is not an alt cruise because that's not the cruising altitude that we've popped into the FMGC. I'm waiting for the yes no. So SD pages look good. Where are we? Mezzine, about 33 miles away. Should be there in about 4 minutes. That'll be 24 minutes. And check the operational flight plan. There we go.
6381,
Spot on.
climb flight level 250.
Confirm flight level 250.
Affirm 250.
Flight level 250, approximately 6 phase 1 tanks.
So now for the fun bit. If he's going to keep us at 340, what difference would that make to our fueling and time? Oh, I'm scrolling the wrong way. So we're going to be 2,000 feet below, so that's actually going to give us less than 3. It's not going to make much difference, is it? Not for this kind of flight. It's not long enough. Now 4.5 tons at Mezzine. What have we got? We've got 5 tons.
777, wind 350,
currently.
35 left, clear for takeoff.
That looks pretty good, I think.
Clear for takeoff, F1 777.
A lot better than normal, particularly as this is a short flight. What did it say we should arrive with? Should be arriving with about 3.2 on board. What are we going to have according to the fuel prediction? 3226. Ah, interesting.
Marseille contrôle, bonsoir monsieur, d'Air France 75 83, niveau de vol 360 sur Gipno.
175, 83, Marseille, bonsoir.
Why have I got 500? Why have I got half a ton more than the progress page? There's a good reason.
Alpha Lima Fox 6381.
Probably because we stopped our climb 2,000 feet short.
Thank you. Marseille Control, very good evening.
I'm loving the Friday night test questions, HD. Making my brain work after a mind-numbing day of painting a ceiling.
Marseille Control, Qatari 7 with you, passing flight 110.
Nick's just said the same, living the mini tests I get from HD. He's got to let me know if the answer's right.
Climb flight 360, Qatari 7.
Marseille, hello, Ryanair 716, Victor, flight 370.
That would be the contingency, isn't it? Which is about 5%.
Confirm flight 370. Roger.
Where is it?
Identified, flying flight level 310.
Cover to flight level 310, Air France 777.
So there, yeah. So what we got? 5% contingency.
Marcel Control, this is Qatari 7 is flight well 340 available.
I'm going to let HD give us the real answer here.
Sorry, 7 climb flight level 34.
We obviously stopped our climb a little shorter as well, so we went at thrust climb for an extra 2 or 3 minutes. That's obviously saved us a little bit of fuel.
Marseille Control, bonsoir, Iberia 204 is flight level 330.
Iberia 204 Marseille, roger, maintain 230.
Roger, Iberia 204.
Oh, HD, I'm feeling all right now. We're almost 2 for 2. Right, okay, so we're about 180 miles away from our destination. Not track miles, but just as the crow flies. We can probably start to look at our arrival already, which is quite neat.
Marseille Control, bonsoir, Air France 235 Télécom, on passe le niveau 300, en montée, pardon, niveau 360.
235, pardon, Marseille, montée niveau 360.
On monte niveau 360, Air France 235.
Noah B says people really need to stop saying with you on VATSIM. Don't know why it bothers you so much, and no one says it in real life. Well, I don't know. I think I'd take a little bit of an issue with that. When I was younger, and I'm talking, wow, God, 25 years ago, I used to spend all day, every day, in the background with the airband radio on, and quite often you'd hear the pilots coming on, contacting Manchester Approach, which is around about where I live, on London Control, saying, you know, Speedbird 351, good, Speedbird 351 with you, flight level, blah blah blah, direct wherever, and yeah, they did.
Easy 215, leaving my airspace, switch to Unicom 122.8, bye bye.
Switch to Unicom 22 or 122.8, goodbye.
So that message should have come through now with our weather. We'll just print that off. Nice weather coming into Basel this evening.
Flight level 170.
Around 270, Marseille, good evening. Expect the Bonzu 1 Sierra arrival. Runway 02.
Expect runway 02 via Lons 10 arrival for 5270.
HD, you always say with you in real life. Well, you know, I hear it all the time. Well, when I used to have chance to just sit back and listen to real world communications, I always used to hear it. Yeah, but no, what you're announcing is the fact that you're with them on their frequency. I know it sounds redundant because you're talking to them, but you've been handed off from the previous controller. They're now under your jurisdiction. Or rather, you're now under their jurisdiction. So, what we got? QNH 1019. Let's get that in. And temperature of 8. Wind is 330 at 9. Oh, that's a straight on headwind. No excuses for a bad landing there, is there? Transition altitude. We'll need the charts for that. Let's pull those up. So, transition altitude at the Loma Lake Kilo arrival. Is it up here? Transition level is by ATC, and where's the ILS? Transition altitude 7,000, which is actually a platform altitude as well, I believe. There we go. So back over here for that. Yeah, the platform altitude 7,000 feet, and
Atari 70 Meyer Space, Unicom 122.8. Bye bye.
decision altitude is 1090. 1090. Oh, missed the 9 out. 1090. And the runway altitude, or elevation, is 880 feet. As I say, that platform altitude nice and high because of the terrain as well. 7,000 feet.
Marseille radar, good evening, Express 074 with you, flight level 340.
Minimum safe altitude around the airport as we're approaching it is 6,400 feet.
We will change to 330 at into 74.
And there we go. Nick, I think you're right. I think there are. I think there is meant to be a pen holder around here. Is that? Is that, or do they just chuck them in the side down there? HD. Where do you normally find? Where do you normally keep your pens?
Control. Ryanair 360 on a direct to Bravo India Sierra Bravo Alpha.
Ryanair 239er Marseille, roger, maintain level 360.
Marseille, good evening, Express 166, flight level 350 with you.
Express 166, Marseille, roger.
So HD, we're going to start bringing that in now. The aircraft can auto land if we need it. But the runway visual range is 1,200 metres, 1,200 metres, and ceiling and visibility is okay. HD is normally under the rudder pedals. At least it's not like a car when you're trying to brake and there's something underneath the pedal. Noah, MDA goes into the radio, DH goes into the barrow. Other way around, my friend, other way around. So just very quickly, I know this confused a few people because the barrow used to be displayed as MDA, the minimum descent height, which uses the barometric pressure readings from the aircraft's pressure sensors outside the aircraft. The decision height, DH, or now radio, uses the radio altimeter, which is the aircraft's own little radio placed in the tailplane.
1-2-8, contact for 1 Golf. Thank you for your service. Bye.
KLM 3566, contact Roma 124.2.
124.2, 3566. Thank you, service.
Reference 270, when ready, descend flight level 150.
Danny, that is one hell of a question.
150 for France 270.
If you took a flight Amsterdam to Mexico right now, you can see the aircraft taxied all the way around runway 18 Charlie and takes off from 36 Charlie, 36 Center. Do I know why? Weather? Potentially?
Line 534, uniform legal my airspace, which is Unicom 122.9, bye-bye.
HD knows Amsterdam a lot better than I do, I'm presuming, so he can probably picture that. Oh, that was our missed call. Over to Unicom now for Alpine 534 uniform. Thanks for the service. Night-night. Okay, over to Unicom, which means that we're now on our own. So we're about 120 miles away. So as we just look at this arrival again. So we're coming into Lommel, as we can see here. Now, have we got the initial arrivals? For the initial approach, C110. Let's just check that. 110. Oh, hang on. I'm looking at Toulouse. Let's try again, shall we? For the initial approach C110, I would if I could find it. That's 10. I'm looking for 110. That's 111. Oh, there we go. That actually doesn't tell me too much because we're not coming in via Atlic today. Yeah, HD, so I'm just checking to see if I got any sort of recommended altitudes. If not, we're just going to vector ourselves down using yeah, the normal rules of 3. But basically this is the only one I'm going to be really interested in, as we're not using, as you say, the standard arrivals. So from Connell, interestingly enough, if we put constraints on here, has this got any coded in? No, just basically no lower than 7,000 feet, which is the platform altitude. So that's fine. But we'll probably start looking to start that descent pretty soon. So what are we? We're at 340. We never made it up as far as 360, which was our planned cruise altitude today, but never mind. 340. We want to get down to 7,000 feet. So about 90 miles away. So really, quite soon we'll start that descent. We'll let those passengers know.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck once again, you will be delighted to hear that we will shortly be starting our descent into our destination, at which point the cabin crew will start preparing for our arrival. If you could please make sure that all the aisles are clear, the cabin crew are able to make their way around the aircraft without any luggage in the aisles, that would be most appreciated. A reminder for our Easyjetsimpilot members that free drinks are still available from the cabin crew until the seatbelt signs are turned on. Please note, however, that the toilets will shortly go out of use. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, take full advantage of your tax-free allowances today and make some amazing savings with our boutique range. In your in-flight brochure, you'll find details of our award-winning selection of gifts, most with massive discounts, some of which are exclusive to you as an Easyjet customer. Make the most of your opportunity to shop and save from the comfort of your seat. If you'd like to see any products, have any questions, or would like to make great savings, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
Captain B, welcome to the First Officers Club, my friend. Thank you very, very much for your generous support to the channel. Please do grab a free drink from the galley, and I look forward to having many more flights with you on board in the future. So yeah, really do appreciate that. Hope you enjoy the flight, and of course future flights to come. Thank you once again, very kind of you. Good to have you on board. So HD, the fuel for Amasi, or however we pronounce that. Let's have a look. Right, so about 4 ton. Where are we? We've just passed it, and yeah, 4.4. That actually seems to be burning at a consistent rate now, doesn't it? So really, really good. Okay then, let's start that descent. I'm going to go all the way now down to, well, I'm going to call it the altitude 7,000 feet. So let's set speed 270 knots. Down we go. Captain B, are you saying I'm short with big ears? You're probably not far off. Christian, I used a fuel factor of -10 on SimBrief today. So we're in open descent at the moment, and I'm just keeping an eye then on that descent rate. The flight sim pod, good evening, hope you're well. Okay, so the only thing we really need to be aware of is we're going to be just flying over this terrain that we've got coming in. If I just bring this on here, so we've got terrain obviously between France and Switzerland, and minimum safe altitude 6,400, which is fine. We're only going as low down as 7,000, so the passengers may get quite close to those, but we know we're safe. Greedy Man, how are people from Yorkshire named in the UK? Tight git. HD, the highest point on the ILS chart that I can see is 4,200. In fact, let me bring that back in. On the ILS chart here, so what we got? We've got 4,200 there. Can't see any others. And minimum safe from the Bravo Lima Mike VOR, which I'm going to pop in now actually. So let's check that out. There we go, that's in. I'm also just going to make a note of the ILS frequency in case that doesn't populate, which is 10935. 10935. Oh, actually, it's already populated. 10935. Wonderful. Oh, HD. That's good. Good to know. There's the white arrow. That's the one that that caught my eye and attention. That would be why. Noah B, thank you very much, sir, for your kind donation to the channel. And Noah B says thank you for your streams. As always, you love them. Oh, that's so kind to hear. Thank you. And yeah, very generous of you. So thank you again for that. Grab yourself a drink from the trolley. So I'm currently 83 miles away. Of course, that's not track miles, but that's looking okay. Our profile doesn't seem too bad there. Fitzy, good evening. Just made it in time for the approach. Quite right too. Do you know something I've noticed on this flight? The autopilot hasn't wobbled left, right, left, right, left, right, has it? That's quite neat. So we've got the weather, we've got the landing information, flight management guidance, computer is all set, landing elevation we've confirmed is 880 feet. We've just done our arrival briefing, which is actually coded in quite nicely, as you can see. We're just vectoring ourselves in, almost. And we are going to put the terrain radar on, because we can see coming up, actually, we've got some terrain that we want to... well, avoid. We've mentioned that anyway. So if we just reduce that speed a little bit, HD, just reduce that descent rate. And as you say, we want about 60 miles to run at 20,000 feet. We're perhaps a little bit under the profile. But only by about 10 miles or so, which gives us a little bit of time to slow down, so that's alright. Flight level 53, you flew with the newest experimental and the autopilot behaved very nice. Great stuff. And Noah B, yeah, you can see the VOR arrow is now pointing towards the VOR just to the north of the runway at Basel, actually. And our missed approach altitude is 5,500 feet. Captain B, if you land with only 1 ton of fuel on board, you might have to do some paperwork. HDO confirmed that. Depending on where your alternate is, though, 0.5 for your alternate seems okay. Oh, sorry, you mean it. You actually mean a total, don't you? I thought you meant as the extra. But yeah. Nick, you noticed today that when you set this, when you set config 1 after slowing past 210 knots, the flaps came out for the flaps 1 automatically. Oh, is that on descent? Well, I don't think that should happen. Similar, good evening. You've just made it as well. You've just finished a flight from... I have no idea where that is. To Newcastle, was that? Where's EGNR? I'm not familiar with that one. I'm guessing Easyjet don't fly there. HD, I think Nick was saying in the descent it got config 1 set, so obviously the slats only come out. It then slowed below 210 knots, and the flaps deployed as well. I didn't think that happened. I thought flaps stayed in until you set config 2 on approach. We've got track miles of 69. The FMG C. So we're at flight level 160. In fact, we now need to set this, don't we? 1019. As we're going all the way down to 7,000 feet. 1019. Okay, so just going speed and a vertical speed of 1,000, about 1,200 feet per minute, as we are a little bit below our profile. Bearing in mind as well, the altitude of the airport is closer to 1,000 feet. So when we're about 30 miles out, we want to be seeing 11,000 feet displayed, roughly. Either way, it's about time we got the passengers back in their seats. HD has gone to speed because it needs some thrust to maintain its target speed at VS. Fair enough. It actually holds that really well as nice HD because it didn't used to, did it? And I know now, HD, you're secretly impressed that we flagged up the high altitude of the airport in the descent plan. No, be getting late in the UK. It's not too bad, was it? 10:30. This is nothing compared to the stream I did the other night when I was awake. This is quite early. We could turn around and go back after this. We're not doing, by the way. Definitely B&B time. No, B, what is it asking for when it's flashing thrust lever? It's asking you to put the thrust levers into the CL, the climb detent. That's one heck of a question, that, Christian. I can't even begin to guess what that means. Is that Tenerife South, Christian? No, still no idea what that is. Quick little look outside. So we've got a few clouds to descend through. We'll pop the de-ice on. We know how Microsoft Flight Simulator loves the ice. Oh, of course it is. It's not Tenerife South. I was looking at the last two letters, the T and the S. Of course, LG is the Greek islands, isn't it? Okay, so this isn't looking too bad actually. There's the start of the approach at this point just here. So we're going to start slowing down. We're going to be at the platform altitude. We can probably get the... we might actually be a little bit too far away to get the landing information displayed yet. Yeah, we are. That should come in pretty soon. We're still 40 miles away. But once we get down to 7,000 feet, that just gives us time to roll the speed back, get to green dot, start slowing the aircraft down for our arrival. Tell you what we didn't do when we put the seatbelt signs on, run the approach checklist, but the minimums are set both side. Engine mode selector is at norm, electronic flight bag is stowed, and we've done the approach brief. Let's get those ices on. Get the de-icing, anti-ice on now. No, B, did everyone see the A360 April Fools? No, I missed that one. What were they delivering that as? Was it a twin prop plane? Or maybe one of their new hydrogen powered planes that they're looking at? Is it hydrogen or some other sort of fuel efficient aircraft they're looking at creating? After departure, after arrival, we've done the departure. After arrival, we'll be vacating to the right. Okay, so we're now at the platform altitude, 32 miles away. I expect that ILS information to populate momentarily. Let's enter the approach phase. In fact, we have done already, so we can now set manage speed. Aircraft will now reduce thrust, start to slow down to green dot. And we should be looking to intercept the glide slope at a distance of, what's that, Bravo? We should have about 18 miles from the VOR just there. And this is just cross-referenced on the chart. There we go, we've just picked up the ILS. So there we go, 18.2 miles from Bravo Lima Mike, or 15 miles from Bravo Lima Uniform, which is the ILS identifier. You can see there is a difference there on the chart. So basically, we maintain this heading. We should pick up the localizer in a moment. So we're now at green dot. Let's begin slowing down. In fact, we don't need to go flaps 1 just yet. We're still 25 miles out. Nice long final. So we'll just make a quick call on uniform, on Unicom. So who are we again? Basel traffic Alpine 534 uniform is 24 miles to the south to land runway 33. Looks like we do still have a little bit of ice that's built up on those engines. Of course, not really, but Microsoft Flight Simulator ice. So if we now actually arm the lock, we've got lock star. That looks like it's actually getting ready to capture already. It's gone lock star instead of lock blue, so it's not armed. Interestingly enough, there we go. Localizer alive, as is the glide slope. So let's turn on the approach mode instead. So there we go. We've got Cat 1, glide slope blue, 18 miles out still. Autopilot 1 and 2 now engaged. Cat 3 dual. And glide slope captured. That's it, we're on the ILS. 15 miles out. HD, I beat you to that. AP2 is on. I think if you see me do something within 20 seconds after you've said it, I've put it on without before being told. Okay, so flaps 1. Hey, oh, where'd the numbers disappeared to? That's different. Looks like the spoilers have deployed. Not the spoilers. The slats have deployed. Where are they? And we can see the terrain on the radar beneath us, but we've got a visual now on the runway.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly be landing. Please ensure your cabin bag is safely stowed with your laptop inside. Your tray table must be stowed, armrest down, and window blind open. You now need to be seated with your seatbelt fastened, ready for landing. Please help us by handing in any rubbish, newspapers, or magazines that you do not want to take with you.
Oh, there we go.
Are no longer in service.
Slats and flaps have just come alive at the same time as the radar altimeter has come alive as well. I can see a little bit of turbulence as well with this, and look, that wind is coming from the right. So what's our headwind? It was a headwind I was expecting. Has anything changed? Let's check. 3208, so that is going to change as we get lower down. We're expecting this the wind to spin round and become more of a headwind. Flaps 2, speed check. Flaps 2.
2,500.
And we're going to get that gear down just to help us slow. So, gear down. Basel traffic, Alpine 534 uniform is on 5 mile final for ILS runway 33. I was waiting for you to point that out, HD. You've probably typed the gear as well before. You've just seen it come down, just to help me reduce that and bleed some speed off. And flaps 3, speed check, flaps 3, followed by flaps full. So we're obviously still crabbing in. Oh, look at my beautiful, beautiful aircraft. Completely wrecked by ice. Only the front of it though. Okay, autopilot coming off, and cabin is secured for landing. Auto thrust speed 5,500 feet, go around altitude. Ow, flip. 5,500 feet. Set landing memo, no blue.
500.
500, approach is stable. It would be because when you just turn the autopilot off.
400.
Land is shown. Look at that displaced threshold. That's a decent length, isn't it? That wind has now come round to the headwind, which we were expecting. Notice they've also raised the volume as well of the call outs, which is nice.
200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
And there we go. Reversers on, decel. That's the first time I've had those call outs being louder, which is nice. 17 knots, reversers off. Danny, that did look high because of the displaced threshold. We actually landed in exactly the right place. It just didn't look like it.
Crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety-related duties. However, we ask that you remain seated until the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched off. Portable electronic devices for messaging, calls or internet access may now be used. Please make sure that you take all your personal belongings with you, generally in the seat pocket, underneath the seat and in the overhead lockers. Do take care when opening the lockers in case anything falls out. Smoking is not permitted until you reach a designated smoking area. On behalf of the captain and the crew, it has been our pleasure looking after you today. Our ground crew will help you complete your Easyjet journey. For the latest news, promotions, flight and destination information, check out our official Facebook page, Twitter or Easyjet app.
Okay, so I need to check those spoilers have deployed. I've pressed the buttons and I've pulled the thrust lever, the spoiler levers back, but we check and they are. That's good. Let's get those flaps back in as well. You want stand 29A? That's getting detailed. Right, where's stand 29A? Is that a nice close one? Oh, that's right on the edge of the right on the edge of the terminal building, isn't it? Fair enough. We'll go for that then. So this is taxiway Bravo and 29A. Do we have correct signage? We'll find out in a moment. What was the landing rate, guys, out of interest? Remember, I don't get to see that. And HD, yeah, I resisted that urge to flare a little bit earlier than I had been doing. So if we take should we take that taxiway? No, take the next taxiway to the left. 147. Oh, spot on. We'll take that. This isn't a modded airport either, guys. This is just the stock. I don't think there is a mod for this airport. One hell of a taxiway line over here, isn't it? Enter at Echo. Right, so are we going down here? And then this taxi line comes all the way around, does it not? Or I'm looking at the charts. Presumably, this line should come all the way around to the right now. And the stand I'm aiming for is allegedly just here. Let's have a quick look outside. I can cheat in the simulator and have a look outside. So the stand that you want HD is just here to the right of us. It doesn't seem to exist, sadly, in the simulator, but close enough. Let's get those taxi lights off. So I believe, because of the way the satellite imagery has worked, you can almost see where the parking stand should be. So I think HD is probably close to here, because look, you can actually see there's an aircraft there that's been deleted. Can you guys see that on the stream? You can see the outline of an aircraft that the AI system of Azobo has actually deleted. So, close enough. But this is not registered as a proper parking stand in the sim. You'd know because external power would flag up. Anyway, parking brake is on, APU is running. Let's shut down engine 1, shut down engine 2, get those seatbelt signs off. Oh, just bear with me while the logbook comes up. So guys, if you could do me a favour just before you disembark from the aircraft, if you could hit the like button on the stream, that would be most appreciative. And there we are. I don't think I can call a call a ground car here if I'm not actually anywhere in a correct parking stand. No, I don't think I can. I think you actually have to be in an actual parking stand. HD, you meant 26 Alpha. You were reading it upside down. Oh, it doesn't matter. I don't think we can get any baggage or anything like that. Either way, we're here, we're done, we're down, we're safe. Another flight completed. Oh, well guys, I hope you've enjoyed that short little flight through France this evening. I've enjoyed that. It was nice, relaxing, decent views coming down. A little bit of a different kind of approach as well with regards to the terrain and the nice direct intercept. That was great. So, thanks very much guys. I hope you've all enjoyed that. Big thank you to the subscribers, old and new. We're getting so close to 9,000 subscribers. That is amazing. That really is unbelievable. So thank you again to each and every one of you for that. A big thank you as always to those who have donated and either through the PayPal links, Streamlab links, super chats, super stickers, etc. And of course, a very good night and a very happy Easter if you celebrate it to all the Easyjet Sim Pilot members. Really look forward to seeing you on the next stream. I'm sure I'll be chatting with you on the Discord very, very soon. I'm going to get those doors open and say good night, everyone. I shall see you all very, very soon. A big thank you, of course, to HD for all his valuable knowledge and the quizzes thrown in as well. Hope we passed. Good night, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck once again, I hope you have enjoyed your flight with us today here on Easyjet. On behalf of myself, the first officer and the cabin crew, may we wish you a safe and pleasant journey from the airport, and we hope to see you again very soon. In order to increase the comfort of your next flight, please take a look at joining the Easyjet Sim Pilot channel, and we offer extra perks for those frequent flyers. We look forward to seeing you again. Thank you once again for flying with